Constitutional reform, constitutional reform. People have been calling for constitutional reform since I small. But do you know what the Constitution is and what it does? Well, I'm an attorney at law, so let's have a brief chat about it. Simply put, a constitution is a set of rules that guide how a country, state, or political organization works. It will also provide how a government comes to fruition, how their powers come about, their limitations, and even give the citizens their rights. The Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago is the supreme law of Trinidad and Tobago, and any other legislation that is inconsistent with our Constitution is void to the extent of the inconsistency. Our first Constitution was drafted after we got our independence from British rule in 1962 and enshrined that Trinidad and Tobago is now a sovereign state, which means we govern ourselves and we are not a territory of any foreign state. Our first Constitution was drafted by our first president, Sir Ellis Clarke. The Constitution was then reformed in 1976 when we became a republic. Our Constitution controls the establishment, functions, limitations of our government, our electoral process, our parliament, our president, our judiciary, and the establishment and safeguarding of our human rights. Also, the supremacy of law over all in Trinidad and Tobago. I implore you to have a read through of our Constitution, which is available online, and let me know in the comments if you all want me to do a video outlining all of our human rights as contained in the Constitution. So what is constitutional reform? Well, according to the National Advisory Committee on Constitutional Reform, and I'm reading from their website, reform refers to the process of making significant changes or amendments to the Constitution. The process typically involves reviewing, updating various aspects of the Constitution, such as its structure, provisions, and mechanisms for governance. The Constitution includes mechanisms for its amendment. The process for amending the Constitution varies depending on the specific provisions outlined within the Constitution. So I'm reading again from the website. Some sections can be amended by a simple majority of Parliament. Entrenched sections require a 2/3 majority in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Deeply entrenched sections require a majority of 3/4 in the House of Representatives and 2/3 in the Senate. But why reform it now? Well, the website for the National Advisory Committee on Constitutional Reform has the answer for that too. According to them, our current Constitution is now almost 50 years old, and many people believe reform is necessary. The Constitution is the highest law of Trinidad and Tobago and represents the people's aspirations for the country and how they would like to be governed. The last Commission report from 2013 highlighted some of the examples of suggestions of changes to the Constitution. And I'm just going to pick out a few for you to get a gist of what people are talking about. So we have environmental protections, clearer separation between the government as the executive and the legislature. And the legislature is both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Protection from discrimination based on sexual orientation as a human right. I know that's going to ruffle some of your fellas. And the need for senators to be elected and not just appointed. So those are just like 4 examples, but there's a whole report. It's very interesting. Have a read of it on the website. And on that website as well, I just wanted to add that there are so many resources if you want to get involved and have your voice heard on these issues as well. And I know that I think on the website they said they're working on another report because the last one was 2013. So guys, I implore you to read your constitution and maybe visit this website for the National Advisory Committee on Constitutional Reform if it's something you're interested in partaking in. And let me know in the comments what you knew about the Constitution, what you learned about the Constitution, and if you wanted to add any more information on this topic, do so in the comments. And until next time, bye.